how do you find people to collaborate with, especially if you're a sex educator? This is Jiminica Eborn from SoGym.com, and I'm Kathy Bartoli from theintimacydojo.com. And yeah, it's a great question.
How do you find people? I think I've just been super lucky to find people at like conferences.
But you're also putting yourself out there.
Sometimes. Sometimes my friends force me to meet other people.
Oh, so sorry. They're mean.
No. I mean, they are. I feel like sometimes, they know your strengths better than sometimes you see yourself, because sometimes you live in your own head, as I do. And imposter syndrome is real.
For everybody, mostly.
Yes. I think it's really easy for someone to be like, oh, here's a person. They talk about the same thing as you. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good match. There's there actually aren't a lot of people that talk about sexual trauma. And then like some of them I've met and I'm like, oh, nice to meet you. No, this isn't a good match. But then there's just meeting people. I like to do like co-working and co-creating with people that I have a relationship with. And I think that's still like a specific type of relationship, like balancing each other's strengths, I think is really important. What do you think?
No, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I do. Part of it was just getting out and meeting people, going to conferences, doing talks, because if they don't see you, there's no way to know if they want to work with you.
Right.
So you have to be visible, and you can tell people, I love to collaborate. If you know someone who might be good, please let me know. It's really the same advice I give people when I'm telling they want to date. Tell all your friends you want to date. Ask them to help you, like, go out on first dates.
Ooh, that's awkward too.
It is. But practice makes it easier. And then I think, so I love to collaborate. I love it when people reach out. But I think a lot of people, they'll be at a conference, they're on a conference high, and they're like, your talk was fabulous. Let's get married. Let's have a business together.
What's your name again?
Yeah. But people take it really fast. And that's one reason I love doing YouTube videos with people, because I can do 2 or 3 short YouTube videos with them. And I can see, one, how we interact. Are philosophies similar or not? And I think there's 1 or 2 people that I haven't ever posted the videos because they're just like, that really wasn't, it's not what I stand for. I thought we were on the same page. We did the videos and I'm just like, I'm sorry, they're not close enough to my beliefs. But it's like going for coffee when you're dating.
Yeah. Gotta test it out.
Test it out and see how they follow through. Like if they say they want to do some articles on it or whatever, I almost always take care of the YouTube videos for myself, because people get busy, stuff happens. But if they're excited about something, see how they follow up. Do they get back to you? Like, you've been really great about, like, hey, I'd love to shoot videos. So, like, you want someone who's going to meet you, not someone you're always chasing after or trying to get to do stuff.
Yeah. I think you're even more advanced than me. Like, I need to, like, really vet you first before I give you my time. Like, even, like, in like, time and investing and, like, creating. Like, I need to, like, sit down and, like, talk with you. I'm an observer, so I need to see how you move.
Yeah.
Like, not even just, like, how you're talking to me. Like, how are you at the conference? Like, thank you for talking with me, but also, like, okay, that's great. What does that mean for you? Because someone will come up and be like, hey, I want to do the thing with you. And you're like, okay, what does that mean for you? And they're like, well, and you're like, okay, well, get back to me.
Yeah, I've had people wanting to collaborate, and then you ask details, and they have no idea.
Yeah.
And they're kind of wanting you to do all the work of, like, creating it, and they'll just be there. And I'm like, that's not collaboration. That's me doing the work and you showing up and getting credit. That's not the same thing. But a lot of those people never follow up either. So I just, a lot of times if someone's really eager and I don't know them that well, I say, you write me an email and schedule a time. Like, give me 3 times we can get together to do videos. Because most people will never do that.
Because that's extra work, and they're like,
they just forget.
What I thought we were doing.
Yeah. If it's someone I already know really well, I'll say, let's schedule right now. Because I know that life happens, and especially conferences are really busy. But for someone that's really excited that I don't know, I give a little hurdle. If they jump it, I'll do a couple of videos with them.
Yeah. But I think it's also like knowing who you are and being like, I can't work with someone that's like super like all over that place. I'm like, that's not who I am.
I'm going to kill them in a couple days.
This isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And I think it is like meeting the person where they are also, but also like making sure your values do match.
Yeah.
Which you can find out in conversations, like asking questions.
Yeah.
I think is really important. Like I said, for me, observing, seeing how they move, yeah, you want to do the thing, but what does that mean? Like, some people are like, I've met you and I've seen you and I saw your Instagram, blah, blah, and I'm like, cool. Now what? Like, you saw some photos I posted, you saw some tweets, but what does that mean for you? I think it's important to find like a real connection and a common ground, and they don't necessarily have to be like the same work. I think you and I work well together because we can balance off each other, and we are very different, but like our conversation just like hanging out with two good girlfriends. But I think that's also important to be able to have a good energy with people and have something that doesn't feel forced, where you're sharing the information and like you have representation in who you are.
Yeah, if you're trying to pretend to be someone else to make the other person happy, not going to work.
It's going to show up. And people are going to be like, that video you did with so-and-so, why did you do that?
Yeah, what was that?
So I think that's important.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard. And I like to take things slow. Like, you and I have been shooting videos. We both have very full lives, but we've been shooting videos for a year and a half now. And now we're, in a few weeks, we're going to be doing a class together.
In the same place.
In the same building.
This is rare.
Yeah. It's very fun. You made a beautiful breakfast this morning. I feel very spoiled. So, yeah, but now we're in a couple weeks, we're going to be teaching a 4-hour class together. Because we did these videos and then consistently both of us showed up, consistently both of us communicated if we had something come up. I felt like there was a really easy flow, and I really like what you add. So we're going to be teaching a 4-hour class together that we're going to videotape, and we'll see if we still like each other at the end.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, but it's a live class, and we're going to videotape it, and if we like it, we'll put it up online for sale. If we don't like it, we can either edit it or say, well, maybe another time. But it's just
you build up to that.
Yeah,
it's taken a year and a half to build up to that. But that's okay. Like, meeting people that we're all in the sex ed field. There's different areas of sex ed. Like, it's just not here's sex on a plate. There's so much, and all of us do different things. And even finding someone that may do the opposite of what you do and having that conversation can like build gaps, and which is really important as well. But I think it's a slow, steady race sometimes.
Yeah,
trial and error.
Well, and I think when I first walked into the sex geek community, I had a coaching business outside of the sex geek world. But when I joined, I was like, all these people know each other and they're all experts. I felt like I would never get to know people, but you just keep showing up and being kind to people, talking
being
to
genuine.
people. Yeah.
Being who you are. I came from the mental health background, and I was like, I know things, but you all are all so serious and amazing. And then like I had a conversation, people were like, how long have you been doing this? I was like, I just got here. I'm so scared of everyone. But showing up and being who I was, like, if you can meet anyone, this is it. This is what you get. Like, sugarcoating is too extra, but it's a lot of work to put yourself out there, even so. And like she said, tell your friends, like, hey, you could tell people I would like to co-create, because there's often people that are out there just walking in the dark looking for someone else to create with.
Yeah. And it could be even a webinar. I've done, some people aren't ready for video, just an hour webinar for free for their audience, or a video, or a summit, or a co-panel at a talk. There's different ways to build that relationship.
Write an article together.
Yeah. So, but I encourage, just like dating, you're not going to go up and, hey, you want to get married? Let's have kids. 3 kids sound good? Oh. You don't go up and say, let's do a 6-week online program for $9.97 that has private coaching, and we're gonna and then we're gonna lead a boot camp together. It's too much. It's like, whoa.
Meet the person first.
Yeah. Or they'll form a business together. They're like immediately.
People do that?
People do that.
Oh.
I've seen it at conferences, especially marketing conferences.
It's like making me itch. I'm nervous for them.
But you don't know that person over time, and I always encourage people to have an exit agreement. I have a video on the channel for that. Like, know how to, if you start building
beautiful.
a deeper.
You should find that video.
Yeah. If you start forming a deeper business relationship, it's really important, and a relationship romantically. But then also have a written agreement for how things are going to go forward and how things might change. Because that's, just having it in writing is really powerful. It doesn't mean it's locked in stone, but it does mean that, hey, we have agreed on this, because people have so many and so many expectations. Oh, I just expected I did more of the work, so I'd have more of the money. But you have a bigger list, so you might get more of the money. Like, people might, there's all kinds of different ways people split things, and it's all good. Just making sure it's agreed on.
Having conversations, because communication's important.
Yeah.
I think this is a good topic. I think, it's hard going to conferences, and sometimes it's your first conference, and you're like, this is a lot of people that do things, and I want to do things too, which is great. And there's a lot of options of humans to do the things with, but take your time. Don't just throw yourself at the first person that shares a similar interest.
Yeah.
Talk to them, because
Get
they're portraying may not actually be who they are.
Right, but get their card and follow. If I follow up with probably 10% of the cards I get.
True.
And that's. But I try to write on the back, this person seemed like a good collaborator.
Oh, see, I don't even do that. She's way better than me.
Because otherwise, I get home and I have a stack of cards, and I'm like, never mind.
Who was this?
So, one thing, if there's a lot of people around, and I don't have time to write, I put, I have like one pocket for general interest, one pocket for business interest, and
Kathy is vetting us, everyone.
And if some of them have lanyards where you can put them. If someone I really want to follow up, like 100% need to follow up, I'll put it.
Oh, I do that. I do that, and then the other ones, I'm like, thank you so much. I'll put it in my bag, my carry bag. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's just a way to track.
We'll find a system that works for you.
Yeah, and one thing I love is people that follow up. Like, hey, I'm usually the one following up. If someone reaches out to me, I'm like, that's very cool. They took an action. I'm going to do my best to take an action back.
Yeah, it's like meeting people where they are. I think it's extremely important because we're all busy, and most of us, sex ed is not we wish we could just focus on that, but bills.
Yeah.
So and we get busy, so it is good to check in if there's someone that's you're really, really interested in working with, and when you met with them and had that conversation, there was a spark. Email them again. Don't get too crazy though, and don't get creepy.
Stalker.
Don't do that. But following up is important because we do get busy.
Yeah, and if you can, most of you that are watching this probably give relationship and dating advice. Just like you might tell a client that hasn't been out dating and is so excited and thinks they're going to meet Prince or Princess Charming the first time out. It's okay to meet a lot of people and build some relationships with people, and then over time you might find someone that you want to go deeper with, and that's okay.
And a lot of people can refer you out. I have friends that are like, hey, they want this thing. I don't do that, but I know you're amazing at it, and I think you would work great with this person.
Yeah. We hope this helped. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks very much, doing it.
Yeah.